Hi all, and welcome back to another episode of Antiques and Learning to Live. I'm Alex, your host, and today's topic is my tool. Okay, not so much, but while this does look like something that came out of a sex store, I promise you it's not, although some might wish there were. But anyway, um, one of my fans asked me about this because I had a short demo where I was showing the amount of ratcheting clicks on this. And I counted them between 300 and 320. They're not distinct enough to count exactly. So between 300 and 320, probably 315, 310 to 315, somewhere in there. So you can see the casing is 9.5 inches. Wish that were me. Forget the bad joke. So, we'll get started. So, the top screws off, and you can see it says Easydriver Ratchet System, Home and Auto Toolkit. And this is made in the U.S. It says power, precision, and strength here. And it might look like something's missing in the kit, and I thought so originally too. However, the list shows part 202, which is an all-purpose drive shaft, which is this. 204, which is a 7-inch keystone, 3/8-inch tip flat driver. 302 is a number 2 Phillips. And I added a number 1 and a number 3 Phillips to the kit because it did not come with all those bits. It comes with 305/306 cabinet bits, which are just slotted screwdriver bits. They called them cabinet tips for a long time. So, and then part 401 is a 1/4-inch socket extension right there. Part number 405. 3/8-inch drive socket adapter right there. And that's it. Aside from saying dozens of uses, workshop, boats, toys, lawn, garden equipment. I don't know if I'd trust this plastic ball right here to crank down on a lawnmower blade, but you know, it is what it is. You know, during the 70s and 80s, that's when tool quality declined at a certain price point, and this is just one of those gimmicky things designed to make you buy it. It sits on the shelf, you never use it, because this is kind of a weird, really weird way to use a driver. So anyway, here is we'll go by the listing, the part 202, 5-inch 9/16 all-purpose, and it uses a circlip to hold the bits in instead of a magnet, which is pretty nice. A little bit higher quality when you see that. Part 204 is the keystone blade. And that's this 7-inch, and then you got a 3/8-inch tip. And this set has not had any real use. Even the keystone tip just barely shows any use. So that's nice. Part 302 is their number 2 Phillips. At least they did include a... I found the bits are kind of hard to get out. So that's their number 2 Phillips. And that's the only Phillips it came with, because back then I guess a little more slotted screws. And parts 305 and 306 are the 1/4-inch and 3/16-inch cabinet bits, which are here. These are original. The ones I added, I actually searched out black oxide so they'd match the kit, which was kind of nice. So part 401 is the 1/4-inch socket driver. You can see the ball here. Nice piece. And part number 405 is the 3/8" socket adapter. So that's it. And you can see some of the extra bits I put in there. Number 1 Phillips, number 3 Phillips, a hex number 5, and a hex number 3. Couldn't tell if that was 2 or 3, but it's a 3. And today, I have never used this set before. So I'm going to take the cage and blade off this 1916 Emerson Northwind. Original paint, touched up, completely electrically, mechanically overhauled. As you can see, it's an operational fan. Originally an AC/DC option fan, but I put a full DC rectifier in there. So it's 120 volts AC. As you can see, going high. Then you got low. And low, I rewound the nickel chromium wire, the nichrome. And of course, it's a brush motor. It's going to have a short spin down time, whatever. So for what we need, we do not need the keystone. We don't need the sockets. And I think the only bit we're going to need so the only bit we're going to need is the small cabinet bit. Snaps in. Pretty good grip. Happy with that. I'm just going to put the other bits up for now. Thing's a little tight, hasn't been used before. Alright, so the way the ball works. Red side is to tighten. You flip it over, and black side is to loosen. And you can hear the insane amount of clicks. It may even be more than 320. I am not sure at this point. So, alright. So first thing we're going to do is remove the cage. Once the screw's loose, I've never used something like this, but I can see where that would come in handy. Some cage screws, and we'll take the other cage screw off. When you take the last cage screws off these old fans, you want to make sure you keep the cage from falling on the blades. So I'm just going to fish the cage off the blades. Alright, so we got the cage. We're going to put that on the side. And we're going to do the blade. We've got a set screw. And this bit just barely fits in there. Actually feels somewhat natural. I'm not going to lie, it's not bad. Alright. Never run these AC/DC motors very long without a load on them because they will run too fast. And this fan is a trunnion and swivel, so you got a swivel and you get your trunnion. So, pretty cool fan. Alright. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to put everything back together with the same driver, but we're going to turn it around to the red side, which is lefty-loosey, righty-tighties. And we'll start with the blade. Look for the notch and the shaft. Like that. steady, and did not slip the bit. It's actually not a bad design. Please do not attempt that at home. All right, we got the cage. And again, we're going to kind of fish it around the blade. You can't do this with all fans, but you can do it with a lot. So what I'm going to do is take a screw. Since this is a non-magnetic screwdriver, I'm going to have to start this by hand. So I started the top screw by hand. This is easier if you have smaller hands. You know, the old saying that bigger hands are better, that's not necessarily true. These excessively large hands have been a serious issue for me as far as my restoration career. Alright, so I got the screw started and we got the bit driver ready to roll. I'm just going to lightly tighten these for now, and we'll do the final tighten after the fact. It's got a crazy sound. No other tool sounds like that. So it's just really weird to hear. And then we'll do the top screw. Actually got a pretty good amount of pressure on these screws with this little driver. And I have not slipped any bits, which is nice. So, check the blade against the cage. Everything seems right. I'm going to put it on low. Turn it off. And like I said, commutator fans, you can tell by the, you usually have either screw-in bush holders, and I made these out of wood and then put a flame retardant coating on them. It's been wonderful. I ran this fan for hours without any trouble. So enough about the fan. Go back to the tool. So if you find one of these and decide to use it, outfit it with some extra bits, you know, because what it came with is not sufficient, in my opinion, to be a legitimate tool. So it sticks better than that one, and I like to put the red side up. Not that it matters with the case on, but just a little bit more. And on the ball it says Creative Tools Incorporated, Bennington, Vermont. On the other side, of course, it says Easydriver, U.S. patent, 3,742,787. I did not look the patent up, so apologies for that. And put this back in, and these covers are brittle. You almost never see the covers, and you can see I've actually had to glue a little bit on this one, but I'd rather have the cover glued up a little bit than not have the cover at all. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video of me showing off my tool. Hopefully YouTube does not take this video the wrong way. And this has been Alex with Antiques and Learning to Live. I hope y'all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I'll see you next time. These videos seem to be getting a little more comfortable to make, and I appreciate everybody who subscribed, people who watch the videos. I know most people are in there for the fan content, and I'll be featuring more fans as I show off more antique tools, because I think that's a great way to show how the tools were used back in the day. And then some woodworking projects, non-fan stuff, radios, lamps, things like that. So, see you next time.